Good evening. I'm talking this evening with John Lechner. He's the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs and oversees campus security and safety here at Westminster College. And he's also the newly elected Republican Commissioner of the Mercer County Board of Commissioners. And prior to Westminster, served in the U.S. Army and Air Force as well as the Pennsylvania State Police Force. John Lechner, thank you for being with us this evening.
It's very nice to be here.
We're talking about you being elected as a new commissioner, but before we get into that, what drew you to Westminster after your career with the Pennsylvania State Police?
Well, I was friends with Paul Darlington, and when I retired from the state police, I didn't have a job. I just pulled away from the state because I felt that it was a younger man's work to be done. And one day I was talking to Paul, and he let me know that he was going to be leaving, and so I applied for the job. He said he thought it would fit my skills, and I agree that it did. And
what did you do at the state police that maybe either qualified you for here at Westminster, or did anything play in or factor into you getting the job here at Westminster that you took from the state police?
Oh, I'm sure that quite a bit of it did. Did many things within the state police. I was a patrol officer, criminal investigation supervisor, a staff supervisor, a station commander. So there was a number of things I did. Media relations. I was a spokesperson on major cases, all kinds of things, and the public safety department here seemed to be a good fit for a lot of those skills.
Mm-hmm. So why student affairs and public safety? You just talked about your experience at the state police. Were you drawn to working with the students here at Westminster, maybe taking your skills from there, from the state police?
Well, when I applied for the job, I knew that it was going to involve both, mm-hmm. but I thought that my background in the military and in the state police gave me a lot of leadership. And college has the philosophy of the education of the whole person, and I thought that my leadership skills could be applied to possibly mentoring some of our students and helping along young men that are affiliated with the fraternities, things of that sort, teaching them skills and concepts that they would be able to take out into society after they graduate.
You just mentioned the fraternities. You serve as board member, I believe, on the Interfraternity Council, correct?
Yes, I'm advisor to the IFC.
And what job does that entail? Do you take anything that you work with for student affairs? It seems like there might be a correlation between student affairs and working with the men who are in the fraternities here at Westminster.
Well, the fraternities are lined up under student affairs. Anything mm-hmm. that's related to students falls under that, all of your student organizations. And there's quite a bit that we do. Try to let the young men handle things themselves. You just sort of guide them along, mm-hmm. give them some ideas and some directions, and hope that they'll take them and run with them.
And what has your experience been here at Westminster? It seems like a big transition from the state police, such a serious organization, not to discredit Westminster by any means, but it seems like you went from a very serious role in the state police to, after your retirement coming in here to Westminster.
It was a huge change in environment, because in the state police everything is very black and white, mm-hmm. and at a college environment things are many shades of gray.
Right.
And I think that being here at Westminster was a big help to me. In fact, one of the former deans here, John Deegan, said to me after I was here about 6 or 8 months, "How are you enjoying Westminster College?" And I said, "I think it's fantastic." And I said, "I'm truly enjoying it." And he says, "Well, you know what? I think you're correct, because the face you're wearing today isn't the face you wore in the door 8 or 9 months ago. I think you just had that 'don't mess with me' look on your face as a police officer." And hopefully my experiences at Westminster have rounded me and mellowed me a little bit.
So switching gears a little bit here, you talked about your experience at Westminster. What motivated you to seek an active role in politics?
I live in Mercer County,
mm-hmm.
and I haven't been happy with the direction I've seen county government going in. Mm-hmm. And so many people have the tendency to say, somebody needs to do something. And I said the same thing. And again, when I looked at the credentials that I could bring to the position, I felt, you know what, you're probably as well a qualified somebody as anyone else. Why don't you get out and do it? And that was a big motivator for me.
So talking about that, you're going to be the person that's going to actually go out and do something. What goals do you hope to achieve as a commissioner?
Well, I have two. Commissioner's role is somewhat limited. You're primarily a fiscal administrator and manager. They have over 500 employees in the county and about a $68 million budget that you have to oversee. And you've got to make sure that you stay within that budget, but yet at the same time you have to support all of the operations that go on, and many of the things that come down to the county level are state and federally mandated, but they're not funded.
Right.
And so you've got to figure out how to make it all happen.
Do you plan to take anything with you from Westminster or your career with the state police, or even your time in the U.S. Army and the Air Force with you as you embark on this new endeavor as a commissioner?
I'm going to take it all. I mean, each one of those venues gave me some different skills. I think I'm taking a lot of ethics and integrity with me from both the state police and from the military, leadership skills, speaking abilities, and I think from Westminster I'm taking now the ability to work better with committees and groups and a lot more flexibility than what I might have had 9 or 10 years ago.
And wrapping it up, you're going to be the only Republican in a Democratic-controlled council. How do you feel as being the Republican and going along with your goals? How do you look at working with your colleagues on any issues that may arise?
I'm absolutely committed to working with my colleagues. I have to work with them in order to get things done. It doesn't change any of my goals or any of my ideas. The only thing that's going to change perhaps is how I approach the issues. Right.
We've been talking today with John Lechner. As we said, he will be retiring from Westminster College and moving on to his new position as Republican Commissioner of Mercer County. Mr. Lechner, thank you for taking your time out of your day to be with us today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.